Hello lovelies! Welcome to my channel. I'm Jimmy and today we're going to make some homemade granola. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 165 Celsius. To start out, get 3 cups of uncooked oatmeal. I prefer the old-fashioned rolled oats. After that, we're going to get 1 cup of almonds and half a cup of sunflower seeds. You should also put in the spices at this step, but I wrote them down at the end of the recipe, so we will be adding those in later. Make sure you mix this well to incorporate all of your dry ingredients together. We're going to add half a cup of honey. Honey is sticky and will work as our binder in the granola. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of the oil. I used olive oil, but you can also heat up and use coconut oil. Just make sure that whenever you're pouring it in, that it has the consistency of more of a liquid than a solid. Now you're going to give that a quick stir. Make sure that you incorporate your honey and your oil. I'm going to grab some vanilla extract. We're going to have half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're finally going to add the spices. It's going to be half a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Hopefully you are able to learn from my mistakes. All of that finally in, we can go ahead and mix everything up until we have a nice sticky substance, and everything is coated in the honey and oil mixture. Alright, now that everything is combined, it is time to pull out our baking sheet. You will want to make sure that your baking pan is lined with parchment paper and not a silicone mat, because cooking on a silicone mat will lock the moisture into your granola, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to dry it out. Again, parchment paper is absolutely the way to go here. Once you dump out your entire granola onto the baking sheet, go ahead and spread it all into a thin layer. You're going to look for about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick. With our granola evenly spread, it is time to pop it in the oven. Once it's in the oven, set a timer for 15 minutes. Once that 15 minutes is up, it's time to shuffle everything around, mix everything together, and then flatten it back out. You're just trying to mix everything so that it cooks evenly. And you're just gonna pop it in for another 10 minutes. I popped it in for another 12 minutes, and because of that, a couple of my sides were a little burnt, but that's okay. I just took those pieces out and it was perfectly fine. After you take it out, you're going to want to let it cool down for about 20 minutes until it becomes hard. When it first comes out, it's going to be really sticky and it's going to be really malleable and easy to work with, and that's not what we want. We want it to be hard and easy to break up like it is here. Now that everything is good, we can add in our cup of mixed berries. I went ahead and just added in what was left in my bag because I love dried berries and granola. This is one of my favorite snacks. So I went ahead and filled one of the jars, and turned out that I had way too much for one jar. So I grabbed a second jar and I tried to pull together the corners of my parchment paper so that I could create a makeshift funnel and just funnel it into my jar. Once you finish filling up your mason jar or whatever vessel that you're using to handle your granola, then just pop a lid right on top. I like to use these plastic lids. They fit perfectly on mason jars and they're not airtight, but they do give a good seal. It also doesn't last very long because it is delicious. Thanks so much for joining me as I make some homemade granola. and I hope you all have the loveliest of days.